Saleena, great to see you. Please, could you give an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Saleena, 26, from the UK. Been a copywriter for about 2 years now. So yeah, I joined the real world quite recently, actually. I think it was about 2 months ago. So
Hmm.
not too long ago. Yeah.
Okay, 2 years as a copywriter. Usually people come in, they say, "Oh, I had no idea what copywriting even was." So in your case, how did you get into copywriting 2 years ago?
Well, I was a sales closer, so I used to close over the phone, and then I didn't really like it because I was like, okay, I want something where I can actually make money without me actually physically being there. And then someone recommended copywriting to me. So I was like, right, okay, let me give it a chance, see how it goes.
Mhm.
And that's how I kind of got into it, into copywriting, got into sales because I went to uni. I think everyone goes to that phase where they go to uni and their parents want them to study, and it wasn't really for me. And then
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay, sales, let's see what closing's about. So then I went into closing, and through closing, found copywriting.
Well, quite the story there. And what was the process like learning copywriting
At
outside
the
of the real world
beginning,
introduction?
it was very difficult because I was like, I don't know what it is because there's so much different things about it. There's emails, there's landing pages, there's so much to do with copy. So I was like really confused. I was all over the place. And then I just kind of was like, okay, you know what? I need to find a mentor. So that's what I did. I found a mentor. And then I was kind of like, all right, okay, I found a mentor now. And then I was like, but it's still kind of like all over the place. Like I think people kind of teach you how to get clients, and they don't teach you the copywriting aspect too. So at the beginning, it was very difficult because I didn't have both things. I only had one, which was the skill.
Mhm.
So I found it really difficult at the beginning.
Okay. And how did you end up coming across the real world?
It's a bit of a crazy story actually. So I when you're on like YouTube Shorts, so I used to always watch like Andrew Tate videos, and whenever me and my partner would go out in the car and I'd put on an Andrew Tate video, and he's like, "Oh, not Andrew Tate again," and I was like, "Don't even start." I was like, "Don't even start. I like learning. Leave me alone." And then I seen that he was promoting the real world, and at that point, I was with another mentor at that point, and I was like, "Right, okay, this is quite interesting." And then I was like, okay, the real world. And then I was sitting on it for about 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't know if I should go for it because I've been like with so many courses before. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
gonna work. And then it literally, I was just like binge watching his videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna sign up. I'm just gonna go for it. And then when I signed up and I started getting results, my partner was like, all right, okay, let me see what it's about. And I was like, let's sign you up as well. So we both actually signed up. So it was actually through. I used to watch Andrew Tate videos when I'd be in the gym. I'd literally just be Andrew Tate like in my headphones all the time. And then I discovered the real world, and I was like, you know what? I see him already as a mentor. I want to learn from him. I want to actually improve my life. So then I joined the real world, and I was like, yeah, I don't regret it.
Right. I love that. Usually the dynamic is completely opposite. I think this might be the first time I'm hearing that the woman was the one who was so into entertainment, not even the guy. Like he was getting tired of your boyfriend
Yeah.
or husband, not sure. Your partner was getting tired of hearing all the Andrew Tate clips, which is quite funny. And what drew you to Andrew Tate then? What did you
I
like
like
about his lessons?
I like the fact, I think some of the things that he says really relate to how I am as a person, as like how he kind of said like the man should provide for the woman, and the woman should be like to look after the man and look after the house. I 100% agree with that. And I think when I used to listen to a lot of his videos, it used to be like, I think he talks to men, but it's like it related to me as well. And I was like, okay, this is a bit crazy because it's like you said, it'd normally be the other way around. It'd be the man
Mhm.
that normally joined, but this time it was the woman. So a lot of the things that he said really related to me. And I think through listening to his advice, I became a better person. I became, like, it's weird to say, I became a better wife. And I started looking after my health a lot more, became a lot more kind of like not like disciplined with my fitness, with life in general. And I think before that, I was just kind of just like sailing along. And then after listening to him and listening to his advice, it made me become a better person. And I think I wasn't the only one that could see that, which is why my
Mhm.
husband was like, "Oh, I might join the real world too."
Right. That's a beautiful story there. Thank you for sharing that. And considering your 2 years of copywriting experience prior to joining the real world, how different was the material within it? And did you actually learn anything new, even with your experience?
I think there was a lot of when it came to getting clients, there was so much material that I was getting information overload, where I'd implement one thing and then next week another thing would come out and I'm like, oh, let me implement that now. And I felt like I was on like a hamster wheel where it was just information overload. And when I came into the real world, there was just one piece of advice on getting clients, and it was like deliver value, and that is what I did. And the way that I got my first client was actually really crazy because I didn't go in as a copywriter. I went in as a setter.
Explain.
So I went in as setting appointments for the influencer. So in the real world, as well as the copywriting campus, I'm in the sales campus. So I was also learning the sales and the copywriting. So I was like, okay. I was there giving materials out to people, like writing emails, and they'd be like, oh, I love your emails, but it doesn't sound like me. So I was like, okay, you know what? I need to take a different approach. And Professor Andrew in the copywriting boot camp, he was saying that he actually started off as a setter because he needed money. And that was the same with me because me and my partner were going through like some financial struggles, and we actually lost our apartment. So we had to move back in with my parents. So I was like, we was like, we don't have the time to kind of like, we need kind of money now. And then when I seen that video, that because I do like daily power calls, so when I seen that daily power call, I was like, let me take a different approach and go in with a different skill. So I went in with the skill of setting appointments for an influencer. And when I got her results, she was like, I see that you're a copywriter. And I was like, yeah. So she was like, you know what? I want you to copyright for me and I want you to set for me as well. So I made double money with two skills.
Awesome. Okay. Are you comfortable revealing how much you made from that?
No, no.
Okay, no problem. Not an issue. Um, then how different is your average day now then compared to before you joined the real world?
before my average Before my average day was sort of like, okay, you know what, get up, go to the gym, come back, watch a bunch of videos, watch Netflix, yeah, I'll do a bit of work, and then that's it, go back to bed again. But now it's just like I have a strict routine. I wake up at 5:30, go to the gym, come back, have breakfast, make sure I'm fed, make sure my husband's fed, and then get started on the real world, get started on going through the materials, doing projects for my clients. And you know what? I've become such a better person. And it's just like things that before used to bother me don't bother me as much. Like little things, like normally when, like, I know a lot of people come on this journey and their family don't support them. And before that used to really bug me. And I should be like, why is my family not supporting me? Why is my family not supporting me? But I think when I went into the real world, I actually found not a community, like a family that I could relate to, with people that were
Interesting. I'd
going,
like to hear some more about that, about the community aspect of it. What
yeah.
kind of an impact has it had? And yeah, what do you mean by family?
What I mean by family is like when it's like I'm in like two different worlds. So like when I'm in the community, I am surrounded by people that understand what I'm going through, that are going through the same thing, and the community is absolutely amazing. I think when I first went in, I got a bit scared because I was like, are there going to be any girls in there? Is it going to be all men? You know, oh my gosh, am I going to make any friends? But you know what? I did make some friends, and along the way, I helped a lot of people with their copy, and I was just like, the community is so supportive, and it's like you have a family. And then people outside of that don't support you, it doesn't bother you as much because you're like, I've got my circle of friends, I've got my
Mhm.
circle of family, so it's fine. And you feel a part of something. It's not just like a course that you go into and you learn a few things. You actually feel a part of something. And I think that is what is missing from so much other courses that I've been through.
Right, right. That's a beautiful way of putting it. So for everything that you're getting, all the resources and the community, why do you think they only charge $50 for all of that?
I think that's I think that when I saw $50, because I thought it was gonna be like 2 grand a month, because I was like, oh my gosh, like that, because it's 100K. So I was like, it's gonna be like a lot of money. But you know what? When I went in and I saw $50 and I thought to myself, with I think the first thing that came to my mind is the reason why it's $50 is because he's not trying to make a profit out of it. He's actually trying to help people and impact people. And that is that is why it was $50. And I didn't really think that. I think with normal things, when you buy normal things, you're like, why is it so cheap? But with me, I didn't think that. I thought, you know what? He's not doing it for the money. He's generally doing it because he wants people to improve and he wants to help
Mhm.
people.
Right. And that's completely understandable because when you actually listen to his long form content, you see just how much he's trying to help the world. So again, usually with other influencers, you might think, oh yeah, they charge more, but it was even of a logic assumption that yeah, he would be charging cheaper and just providing a load of value, which is cool. That's great to hear again. Now, what would you say was your biggest challenge when implementing lessons from the real world?
I think the biggest challenge is when you go out to find clients and you say that I'm a copywriter, and because they already have or you say that I'm promoting this, or whether you're going as a setter, as a closer, copywriter, I think they already have a bad taste of people in their mouth. Like, they already have a bad taste where they've taken people on and they haven't got the results that they wanted. So I think with that, that was the biggest challenge in terms of finding an influencer that is open to be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to take on someone else and I'm going to trust someone else, because I think there's so much other people out there where the influencer that I'm with, she goes that I used to have salespeople where I used to pay them and they didn't used to do the work. So I
Mhm.
don't think necessarily when you go out to get a client, it's you that's the issue. It's not you that's the issue. It's just they've had a bad experience. And I think
Right.
that's a challenge.
Okay. Interesting insight there. Thank you. And since you're on this trajectory, then things seem to be going very well for you. Where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Well, me and my partner lived in a one bedroom apartment that we couldn't afford, and now we actually got the keys to our new house, which we're gonna move into very soon, which I'm really excited about. And as well as that, in terms of like we've been married for 2 years, we haven't had a honeymoon, so we're gonna go on holiday. So I think getting more time with my partner, with my family, and do you know what? Like, spend going out and spending money and not being like, oh my gosh, I need to check my bank account. I need to check how much money I've got left because I need to pay for this, this, and this. I am beyond grateful that we are now able to actually move into a new house and actually build a home.
Mhm. Congratulations on the new house. And yeah, that's again, I've used this word too many times now, but it's beautiful to hear. Uh, so, what you would relate the lifestyle changes to you joining the real world?
Yeah, definitely, because I think it's it's crazy because like I one of the things that like my husband see me doing, and he's like, what are you doing? So I'd go to the gym and then I'd do like one of the lessons are like 50 push-ups, and my husband's like, you can't do 50 push-ups, and I'm like, yes I can. So at the beginning I've done like 2 push-ups, and then after that I'm like on 50, and he's like, oh my gosh, you go, what the hell's going on here? And definitely 100% in terms of fitness, in terms of lifestyle, in terms of relationships, in terms of mindset. The real world has changed all of that for me for the better.
Amazing. What a story from you, Selena. And I look forward to doing follow ups with you in future to see how everything's progressing because
Yeah.
that's awesome. Amazing to hear. I don't know. I'm running out of vocabulary to use. Okay. So, okay, we can wrap up with if if people are thinking about joining, but they're thinking, what if I'm going to get scammed? What
Okay.
advice would you have to them?
what if I'm gonna get if they say that, what if I'm gonna get scammed? To be honest with you, the way that I see it is, I think the way that I'm gonna explain it might confuse some people, but it might be like a bit straightforward. It's like when Andrew Tate talks about the Matrix, where he's talking about the Matrix, and I think it's like, if you don't do this, then what are you going to do? I'm a bit of a risk taker. So I'm like, if I get scammed, I get scammed. Like, it's fine. Like, whatever, move on to the next thing, because I think it all depends on how badly you want it.
Hmm.
It all depends on how badly you want a better life. And to be honest with you, like I've said this so much times, I don't actually know what other word to put to it, but the real world will really do that for you. It will change your life. I'm starting to get a bit emotional now. It
Hmm.
will do that for you, and it will change your life. And it's like I always say, if not this, then what?
Exactly.
What's the worst that can happen?
Hmm. Okay. Thank you for sharing your story, Selena. And yeah, completely right what you say. And we can end there. So for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
So on my Instagram, it's Saleenanisa. So SALEENENESA. I just forgot my name for a minute. And then the same on Facebook as well. And if anyone has any questions or anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to help.
Okay. I will add those to the description of the video. And Selena, message me in about 3-4 months. Let me know how everything's going. I'm sure with the trajectory you're on, you'll have huge news then as well. And we'll do the follow up to check in on you, maybe get some more information on other things at that point. And yeah, just look forward to keeping in touch and seeing your progress.
Yeah, I definitely will. You'll see me in the real world chat. I'll start being more vocal now, because normally I go quiet and then it's like bam. And it's just like, what? Wait, hold on, what's going on here? So I think I'll start being more vocal as well. So you might see me in there.
Okay, great.